This is news from the service entrance, the radio show on WLPNLP Chicago, 105.5 FM Lumpin Radio. I first met Chad Kouri doing some clandestine service work a few years ago. He is a very interesting fellow, to say the least. Sound artist, visual artist, really good cat. And he reached out and was like, yo, man, I got this new project coming out. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I want you to, can you check it out? And can you come on the show? Or can I come on your show? And I'm like, sure. And then it's today. It's happening. It's Chad Kouri. He's joining us here in studio in support, if you're watching on Lumpin.tv, of his new album, Mixed. This is like how Don Cornelius and Dick Clark used to do it. It's Chad Kouri on the show. What's up, man?
Peace, Chicago. How we all feeling?
Everything is good, brother. What's the deal?
Except for the weather.
It'll warm up. It won't be cold forever. Wasn't that 3 weeks ago? Oh, man, it's 50 degrees. Yep. It's never going to warm up. Yep. Now everybody's like, oh, my God, I'm dying. No, you're not. Calm down. You got this. How have you been?
Good. I can't complain. This weather has been kind of messing with my brain and my body a little bit, but I'm doing my best to rest and be available for any kind of help people need and just living life, man. Yeah.
This project, Mixed, is a very interesting sound bath, if you will. What was the precipice, the moment that you were like, this is what I'm going to do on this piece?
Yeah. So I've been thinking about putting out a record for a number of years. I really started getting down to business at the beginning of the pandemic. I had a lot more time to explore the things that brought me supreme joy, and one of those things is playing tenor saxophone and playing music in general. So I had a lot more time to explore that, and I had the benefit and the great privilege of studying with, and still do, Vincent Davis, virtuoso drummer here on the South Side.
That's that man.
He is a killer.
That's that man.
Him and Baba Douglas Ewart both
That's that man
gave me some supreme blessings and information and knowledge. And early on starting, met both of them, I think, through Isaiah Collier and Jeremiah Hunt, who are both also supreme talents in the city, very community-based, doing a lot of open jams, things like that. So I did want to put out a record for a while. I didn't know what it was going to be. I explore a lot of different sounds and a lot of different approaches. My visual art practice, as well as my music practice, is based in improvisation. So I'm thinking about, when I first thought I needed to record a record, I thought I had to go into a studio, have charts to look at, run through them, and I was like, that's just not for me. That's not my process. So I've been collecting live performances, recordings over the past 3 or 4 years, and this is a big grouping of those live performances over the past few years. And there's everything from studio recordings in here to cell phone recordings. It's like a wide range of different kinds of audio. You could hear the crowd in some of these things. You can hear credit card machines and field recordings. So it is truly mixed. There's a lot of different sounds in it. And the mixed is kind of paying ode to also my mixed profession and mixed creative endeavors, as well as my mixed ancestry. So
yeah, when we talk about sound in terms of the ability to be able to heal, and we talk about frequencies and stuff. Hang on, gang. Just follow me. When we talk about how frequencies, and it's true, this is all of this earth, this planet, us being here, this is all frequency. It's all vibration, right? Yep. When you go into it with that in mind, and you're like, okay, I want to create something that is going to be able to give people a sense of hope and healing and from all this traumatic stuff that we've been through, not just recently, but our whole lives. There's balance. So there's a fair amount of trauma with all the good stuff too. Yeah. How do you, and you mentioned charts, how do you chart something like that? Where do you go to get that kind of inspiration and say, this is how this is going to manifest these things that I'm thinking?
Yeah, that is a humongous question.
Every other Thursday, I come up with a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the one. Mark it down.
I'm going to keep this on file. It's on tape.
Good.
Everybody
Really, I got to this through figuring out, stabilizing and grounding strategies for myself. it didn't come out of this intention of like I want to serve the world in some capacity. Like this has been a bit of a selfish pursuit from the beginning, and like this brings me a lot of joy, and it's a huge privilege if it brings other people a lot of joy. So as I started building these things together, I'm thinking a lot about frequencies. I'm thinking a lot about water and what water does for us, the sound of water, being in water. So I'm really trying to enact this like trance or meditation or introspection in myself as I'm creating these things. And it's kind of a byproduct of that self-soothing that it happens to work for other folks as well. I do most of my live performances are kind of one long sonic exploration rather than kind of little songs or charts. And I'm kind of I'm building intuition over time to feel like, okay, I'm not choosing sounds to involve. I'm inviting things in that I may not have intentionally brought in, and sitting with the reality of, okay, these are now included in here. What are we going to do with these things? So it's being really open to improvisation and intuition and just following the lead of the things in the room around me. I like to talk about my music like I'm building a room really often.
I get that. Do you think we're in the middle of a lot of different things happening all at once? Like this world is weird at the moment. Chicago aside, because we're always together here in Chicago.
Right.
But the world is weird. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on around the world. The Sudan is in the most dire situation ever. They're literally going to be unable to feed people in short order.
Yep.
Gaza, what's going on there? Same circumstance. Folks need to eat. Just the wars, the rumors of war, all this stuff. Do you see? Not just your project, but the idea that folks getting more in tuned into the ability to be able to cope through music and through sound as a way that we should be probably paying more attention to utilizing and using, or is there another way that we should, are there multiple ways that we could look at sound as a healing for us in this moment?
Yeah, I mean, historically, ancestrally, for all of us, music has been used as a tool for healing very, very directly through frequencies, through celebration, through mourning, whatever that is. And yeah, I think music can be a big part of that. It just can't be the only thing. We have to be paying attention to other things as well. I'm creating this as an offering for people to experience joy in some capacity, and I really feel like joy is an act of resistance, especially with the way that the news cycle works with all of us, and we're not programmed to be receiving all of this debilitatingly difficult information at a 24 hour day, 7 day a week pace.
Yeah.
So taking a break from and moving away from this fear that is created through a lot of our news circuits, and moving that energy into listening and celebrating joy in some capacity feels like an act of resistance. I'm Lebanese, so I have ancestry in Palestine and Lebanon and previously Syria. And, a lot of folks there, one of the traditional dances is the dabka out there. And that is, there's videos of folks doing this dabka celebration while chaos is ensuing around them. And just that act of expressing joy in the face of fear can feel like a huge form of resistance for all of us. And I try not to like belittle the idea of like, we're not trying to be toxically optimistic here, right? A lot of chaos is happening.
For sure.
Balancing this idea of things are happening. A lot of them are out of my control. A lot of them are very dire and scary. I am going to choose for a moment to break away from that, get some self-healing, and move back into it in a way that feels good and feels like I can participate in a way that creates the progress I want to see.
This is WLPNOP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpin Radio. News from the service entrance, the radio show. We are sitting with Chad Kouri. He has a new piece of beautiful magic out called Mixed. There it is again for the Look at that in 3D. I know that you you mentioned being a visual artist. I know of your work, and I've seen it, and it's amazing. And the inspiration from that comes from where?
It's similar to the music. Growing up, I was kind of like in this gray area in between art and design, too creative for the design world and too out there or too designy for the art world. So I'm used to sitting in these gray areas in between things. So a lot of my work came from like this interior healing mode. It's like, no, you can be both. You can do both things. A lot of the visual art stuff is inspired by color theory and what color does to our psyche, and the power of abstraction. I really feel like abstraction in general, abstract ideas, abstract imagery, is a supreme tool for healing for all of us. Like, we can go online and find the answer to most any question in under a second. Right. So when we're met with these things that don't have an answer, maybe don't even have a question, it kind of rewires our minds in a way to leave us to be curious and to find answers that make sense to us. So I really like enjoy this idea of like approaching abstraction in a way that inspires folks to be introspective and be curious.
I know you've got a thing coming up at the MCA July. When was it again?
8th.
On July 8th. It's the Chad Hall Project?
Kouri Hall.
Kouri Hall,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, duo Kouri Hall for their Tuesday on the Terrace.
I'm telling you, we were talking before we went on. Isaiah Collier came up there and killed it. I've seen a bunch of amazing shows on the Terrace at the MCA.
Yep.
Performing in that setting, I've never performed or hosted there. And I've done stuff with MCA, but never in that space. It's not an intimidating space, but it's real. It's like, it's
a museum.
Yeah, man. You go to the MCA, you have to. That's A-game stuff. You better. What is it? Is it a different? I'm trying to not insult folks who do that for a living. Is it a different thought process depending on the venue? Like playing there juxtaposed to playing, like, say, the Metro. Right? Are you thinking differently about how you want to approach that performance, or is it, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm going and this is what we're going to do?
That's a really good question. It's a little bit of both. I tend to be, when I am invited to do things like this, I tend to be in the mindset of like, they're coming to me and inviting me in. They want what I do. So I'm going to focus on what I feel is best. But then I kind of rein it in a little bit and be like, okay, there's a specific spaces for specific things. When I play outside, typically it's generally my feet are in the grass, quite literally. Out there, it's like on cement with seated folks in front of you. So, the approach is a little bit different. Andy Hall and I have been doing some rehearsals, and actually, we generally, we've been known to do 2-hour sets without any breaks that are just purely exploratory sound with very little like charts or tunes. This one's going to be a little bit more dialed in because Kouri Hall put out a record last year. I just put out one on a couple weeks ago, and we really want to celebrate these record projects. So we are going to play some tunes, quote unquote, in that approach. But we likely still kind of will be filling the hypothetical room, the terrace, with sound nonstop for 45 minutes, an hour set, two sets at a time.
Nice. Man, I'm glad that you came down. I'm a big fan. You're one of my guys. When I see you, we don't talk enough.
Correct.
We don't talk enough, but every time we manage to have a conversation, it's always meaningful, and I am proud of you, brother. And
thank you so much.
This is amazing.
Appreciate you,
and I oh man, stop it. I get to listen to this on vinyl. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I got a little 1960s hi-fi situation happening in my home.
So. Perfect. Music doesn't sound any better than on vinyl, man. When I got those test pressings,
I know you
record,
flipped, didn't you?
I was like, why? How can I get this sound digitally? And the only way is to press a record, then record that record, put it on a streaming platform, man. And that's a lot of work. So,
yeah, it is.
But yeah, Yeah. Thank you, Mario. Appreciate you, man.
The album is mixed by Chad Kouri. It is available on all platforms, and he is a band camper, so you can go on Bandcamp
Correct.
and do your thing there. Chad, thank you so much, man, for being on the show today.
Thanks, Mario.
Truly appreciate it. Let's listen to a little bit of this. This is called, because my eyes are old, this is called A Dance for Grounding. This is Chad Kouri. This is WLPNOP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpin' Radio.